The board game company Stonemaier has joined a group that's suing President Trump over his tariff policy. The company wrote in a statement that its livelihoods are being treated like pawns in a political game. And indeed, I think that game could be as fraught as snakes and ladders. You know the game. You go up, you fall down a snake, you go up a ladder. So as we just discussed, the current situation, the EU has fallen down a snake when Donald Trump threatened 50%. And then Ursula von der Leyen rolled the dice and she called the president and he delayed the tariffs. So that's equivalent of going up the ladder. The UK also got up the ladder when it announced a trade agreement light on details and there's no comprehensive deal. But China's fallen heavily as tariffs reached 145%, not quite back to the starting point, because there goes the ladder for China. Scott Bessent met the Chinese delegation tariffs and reduced to 30%. That is snakes and ladders. We've got this game in front of me now, which is a splendid game. It is Wingspan, which is where we all have to pretend to be reserves and trying to attract birds to our garden, if you will. Jamey Stegmaier is the co-founder and president of Stonemaier Games, who, of course, make and distribute this. Look, why sue the president? What I'm trying to work out, I understand, as you heard from our snakes and ladders analogy, and we've got your game here, that it's difficult, but what's your locus of cause to sue the administration?
Well, I really like your snakes and ladders analogy, but the one thing I would change about it is that China isn't the one paying the tariffs. It's companies like mine. I have a small US company based in St. Louis. I have 8 total employees based in the US. We are the ones paying the tariffs if we want to bring our games into the US. So the tariffs are really punishing any company, particularly US companies that are bringing games into the US. And that was the impetus for us to try to take positive action to protect companies like mine, small businesses like mine, by pursuing this lawsuit against the executive branch.
But what's the claim? I mean, I can see the defense from the administration is the president has constitutional authority over trade policy. There are public issue reasons, which you may or may not agree with, and there will be winners and losers, and you're a loser. Goodbye.
Well, the reasoning that we have is that the Constitution says that Congress is the body in the US that has the authority over taxes, and tariffs are a tax on small businesses like mine. The president does have some impact over trade policies, but they're typically used for things like sanctions, for the types of agreements that you were talking about a minute ago, but not on taxes on US companies and US individuals. So, if the president had that sort of power, it could be incredibly unchecked. And currently that power is unchecked.
I need to understand from you, because I am fascinated, sir, fascinated by the logistics for people like yourself. So you order your games and you get them to be made and printed out in China and have done so for years with highly reputable companies that you've worked with for a long time. You're looking at Christmas, you're making the orders now. At what point does the tariff go on? Is it when the ship sails?
Yeah, all great points there. We've worked with our partner in China for 13 years now. It's not something that we're quick to change. For right now, you're exactly right. We are looking at making our winter holiday print run that will take around 4 to 5 months to print, and we'll pay the tariffs on those games. Around 65% of those games we'll bring into the US. We'll pay those tariffs when they enter the US. And so that is after the 90-day period right now where we have 30% tariffs. Who knows what it could be after that 90-day period? And that uncertainty is terrible for US businesses and any business who wants to bring anything into the US for the winter holidays.
You pay it upon arrival, but the tariff is set upon departure.
The tariff is set upon departure, correct. And then we pay it once those ships arrive in the US, if we want to get our goods, we have to pay the government what amounts to a ransom to get our games back to get our games into the US.
So I've got Wingspan in front of me. Give me an idea of what the cost is going to be at the moment. I know they haven't shipped because you're still printing, but assuming it ships today, well, give me a figure that you'd like to work with.
Sure. Well, and part of the point of this is that we started a major print run of Wingspan and many of our other products back in January before the tariffs even existed. Right. No consideration or grace period went into those games where the tariff was applied afterwards. So we're just bringing those into the US right now. We're paying a 30% tariff on them. So it amounts to a price increase of around $3 to $4, which may not sound like much, but we made 250,000 units of games that we started in January. So we're essentially paying $300,000 extra in taxes to the U.S. government for those games.
What do you believe is the price elasticity of a board game that allows you to pass that on? I don't know what the board game retails for, but let's say you paid a tariff of $350 or whatever. How much? You know what I'm asking here. At what point does your research tell you that I'm put off buying the game?
That's a great question. Wingspan retails for $65 US, and we are trying our best not to change that price, because as we increase that price, like you say, the price elasticity, fewer customers will actually buy the game. So we're trying to keep that price around the price that we currently charge. But we're at least trying to be transparent to consumers about the impact of this tariff tax on companies like mine that we need to pay.
Jamey, before I let you go, because we've agreed we're going to have an office. We're going to play Wingspan in the office with all my colleagues. Just reassure me, can I cheat at it like I'm the banker in Monopoly? Am I able to cheat at it?
You could probably cheat at Wingspan if you wanted to, if that makes it more fun for you.
Yes, there we go. We'll have a game of that and we'll send you the results. Thank you very much. It's good to see you, sir. We will follow your company and we'll follow the game and the Wings of Flight as it comes to it. Thank you, sir. I'm very grateful.